Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Super Sam 7. This is part 3 of 4 of my complete comic book collection looking through, and this is part where I look at all the trade paperbacks, and there's a lot. And then the next part, part 4 out of 4, when I look at all the omnibuses, I don't know when that one will come out, probably around summer, because there's a lot of pre-ordered, etc. So, we're gonna get started, because I don't know how fast this will be or slow, but it'll be good. Okay. All I did was cover up the lens also. We're gonna look at some of the ones that will be repeated in my omnibus, or, comics or collected in omnibus format, but I got them in trade paperback. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1. The first 7 issues, I think, and Green Goblin, his origin, you get it. Volume 2, spoilers, I have volumes 1 through 6. Electro, the Enforcers and the Kingpin, Learning Curve, Double Trouble, Dr. Octopus and Justin Hammer, and Kraven. I almost forgot to say Kraven. Volume 4, Legacy. Oh geez, something moved. Okay. This is the first one I bought a very, very long time ago when I was in elementary school, because my public library did not have this volume, so I bought it myself. This is Green Goblin, Nick Fury, etc. And yeah, volumes 1 through 6 are collected in the first omnibus. Anyway, Public Scrutiny, The Death of Captain Stacy, the Rhino's in here, and well, then there's an imposter Spider-Man, but he's not the chameleon. Volume 6, Venom. Spider-Man's ultimate villain gets the ultimate treatment. This was the first Ultimate Spider-Man story I read, probably because Venom was on the front. And yeah, definitely a cool way to change up the symbiote and Eddie Brock Spider-Man relationship. This is one I bought, Spider-Man Sinister 6, a Marvel Masterwork hardcover. Or does it say Marvel Masterwork on here? Anyway, this is the first 2 appearances of the Sinister 6, Annual 1, and issues 334 to 339, I think. And anyway, that's just the first 2 stories of the Sinister 6, and I just saw some extra, so that's really cool. I like that they did that. This is when Hobgoblin joins the team after Kraven pops himself, let's just say. Then I have the other one for Sinister 6, Spider-Man Revenge of the Sinister 6. This is the Sinister 6's 3rd appearance. And it's not as good. I put it as number 5 on my list of the top 10, or top 5 best Spider-Man stories. Sinister 6 stories, sorry. Spider-Man stories, that'd be crazy. But, yeah, this says issue 15 and then 18 through 23. I'll talk about, well, someday I'll make it. This one's here just now because I accidentally have 2 copies of this, so some other time. These are, again, on the best format I have them in. Volume 1, The Court of Owls, The Big Return of Batman, or quote-unquote return. This is the first appearance of The Court of Owls, is these 2 things. Here's the spines. It says The Court of Owls, City of Owls. I don't think I need to explain more. If you know, you know. And I have also Volume 3, Death of the Family. And now for some more exciting ones. Avengers, Epic Collection, The Final Threat. This is Volume 9. This was very, very cheap. I think it was only like $12. This has Marvel 2-in-1, Annual 2 with Thanos. And, yeah. Volume 9. I'm going through these a little bit faster because someday, very soon, I will be doing reading orders. I know Near Mint Condition does those, but mine will be a lot different. Under Siege. Oh my goodness. Probably one of my favorite Avengers tales. This is Volume 16. This is where I have a good story. I got Volume 1 through 3, all of Daredevil by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson for super cheap. These are trade paperbacks. Of course, there's an omnibus for it, and I have the omnibus companion, but really good. This is issue, I think, 158 to 161, 163 to 172. And it also has those 2 issues of Spectacular Spider-Man, where Spider-Man is blinded by the masked, oh gosh, I forget how to say his name, but he's a Daredevil villain. He blinds Spider-Man. There's volume 1. Here's volume 2. I mean, just look inside of it, you get it. And there's volume 3, which has issues 185 to 191 and 219. Daredevil Love and War and What If issue 28. And they're the trade paperbacks. I'm sure a lot of people maybe even forget this was a thing, but I still have them. Okay. And more Epic Collections. I'm very happy for having the Daredevil Epic Collections, all of them, because I know they're super rare. Or all of them, not the earlier issues, but all I can get right now, let's just say that. There's volume 13. A Touch of Typhoid. Volume 12 comes out in August, so I will be buying that. It picks up right after the companion omnibus for Daredevil by this guy. 253 to 270 in Punisher, issue 10. This is the first one I got. I know it was super rare for a good while. Heart of Darkness. This also has the crossover with Acts of Vengeance, where Daredevil fights Ultron. It says issues 271 to 282, Annual 5 and 6, and some other extras. Daredevil, Last Rites. This goes to issue 300, volume 15. One of the greatest Kingpin stories. This is the newest one. I just got this yesterday in the mail. Daredevil, Dead Man's Hand, Epic Collection, volume 16. Now we just need volume 17, and we'll have them all in order until volume 21. And then there's the, so to say, Marvel Universe reboot. I don't know, after Onslaught. Anyway, this is 301 to 311, a whole bunch of extras. Also, who will claim the Kingpin's empire? Of course, in here, Kingpin got destroyed by Daredevil. And, yep. And of course, there's still not a volume 17, so we go to 18. Daredevil, Fall from Grace. So we don't have issues, oh gosh, 312 to 319, but or 318, 319 to 332 in Annual 10. Collected in there. These next three, the last three are very unique. Root of Evil aren't unique. Rare from what I've seen, 19. Purgatory and Paradise, I love this cover. Volume 20. And the last one, volume 21, Widow's Kiss. Pretty sure that's Mr. Fear on the front. The end of an era, and then you can pick the rest of what happens next in omnibuses, which I do not have yet, because I still need to read those. And this is the part of the video where we throw away all sort of continuity and stuff when it comes to these and where they're collected. Anyway, Batman Nightfall, Volume 1. Bane Breaks Batman's back in this is basically a ginormous Marvel Essential, but for Batman, and I just did not talk about Dirk, this is DC. So Bane breaks Bruce Wayne's back, and Azrael becomes the new Batman. And here's Azrael's the new Batman. That was one of my favorite Clayface stories, where this villain called Abator kidnaps Clayface 3 and Lady Clayface's daughter, and yeah, I won't say the rest right now. And then Volume 3. I read Volume 2 before I read any other ones, then I read Volume 1, then I read Volume 3. Kind of crazy. Anyway, Batman Eternal, Volume 1. Very good series. This was something, I forget what year it was, I think it was in 2017 or 2016. No, maybe it was 2015. Oh my gosh, I don't know. But every week there was a new Batman comic called Batman Eternal. And there isn't an omnibus, but I do not have the omnibus, so I did trade paperbacks. Volume 1. I'll just put it there. Volume 2. This is the smallest one. And Volume 3. think Volume 1 is the biggest one. Oh, there's some really good Killer Croc moments in here. Alright, Spider-Man again, by Todd McFarlane. This has issues 1 through 14 and issue 16. And, yeah. You can see Hobgoblin. There's the iconic Torment storyline with Calypso and the Lizard. Very cool. Spider-Man. I have not read this or opened it yet. Spider-Man Light in the Darkness. Very unknown collection, I think. Spider-Man Web Slingers. This collects all 18 issues of this series. Spider-Man, or Tales of Spider-Man, has the greatest Mysterio story. Is the first 3 issues. And, yeah. Let's see if I can... There's Vulture, there's one with the Chameleon, there's Sandman, Silver Surfer, I saw Psycho Man earlier. Okay. I actually have the first 3 issues in floppies. Okay. Spider Hunt, Amazing Spider-Man, very small, just has 6 issues. Talk about this in another video. Identity Crisis, once again, very small, this has like 6 or 5 issues, I think only 5. Spider-Man by Todd Zago and Mike. We are in go. Oh gosh. This has Spider-Man, or Sensational Spider-Man 7 to 24. Now the Spider-Man Ben Reilly omnibuses have issues 1 through 11 in there, so there's some overlap, but definitely worthwhile. The Vulture stuff. Well, you get it. Very glad I have that. And then the Hero Killers. Now I don't have the New Warriors Omnibus Volume 1. I think this is the last stories they have, and there's only 4 annuals collected here. But the annuals have everything in them, like even the back short story stuff, like, let me see if I can just point one out. Oh well, maybe you saw it. I just can't read that fast. There's Venoms. Yeah, you guys saw the Sinister Syndicate in there. Okay, but you get it. Really good stuff. Okay, everybody. And now we're on to Fantastic Four Epic Collections. And this one is Fantastic Four Epic Collection on the Family. This is volume 17. Ben is back. It has issues 296 to 307, Annual 20, Fantastic Four versus the X-Men, issues 1 through 4. Put that over there. Then I have volume 19, or sorry, 18. Wow, I am blind. This is issues 308 to 320 in Annual 21, and Hulk 350. And a graphic novel called Hulk / The Thing, Big Change. So, this was a very rare one to get, from what I can tell. I got it luckily though. Volume 20, Into the Time Stream. This has Fantastic Four 344 to 346, 334 to 346, Annual 23, New Mutants Annual 6, X-Factor Annual 5, X-Men Annual 14, and yeah, First Family Goes to Court, and Space Into the Future, and the newest one to date that's come out. I know next month in March, I should just say March 2022, the next volume after this, volume 23, comes out. This is volume 22. I don't have volume 21 yet. There's reprints that is coming out, I think, in August. But yeah, this Flame, this Fury of Fantastic Four, Epic Collection 22, from the Universe to Infinity War, and it has issues 362 to 376, Annual 25 and 26, and The Adventures of the Thing, number 3. And once again, the newest... Oh no, this isn't the newest Epic Collection for Spider-Man, but it is the last one in this series that will happen. This is volume 26, Life Left, and it has the greatest Carnage story of all time, in my opinion. And the greatest Shriek story of all time, and the greatest Carry-On story of all time. This has issues 381 to 393, Annual 28, Spider-Man number 45, Spectacular Spider-Man 211, Web of Spider-Man 112, and Amazing Spider-Man Ashcan edition, which is very cool. Yeah, the reason they have some random issues like Spectacular Spider-Man 211 is because it also has the greatest Chameleon story of all time, so I highly recommend this if you are a Spider-Man villain fan. Secret Wars, the trade paperback of it. I don't know if this is the newest one, but this just has Secret Wars 1 through 12. Of course, this is Spider-Man's sort of origin of, well, it is his origin of the black suit. And it has a bunch of heroes finding a bunch of villains and things happen in Doctor Doom, one of his greatest stories. This special book is the origin of the Hobgoblin. This is his back. This just has most of the issues, or has all the issues of his first appearances. Amazing in color, obviously. Amazing Spider-Man 2, 38 to 39, 244, 245, Spectacular Spider-Man 85, and then issues 249 to 251, ending with him apparently dying. Spider-Man Birth of Venom, this has issues that pick up right after this. Issues 252 to 259, 298 to 3, or parts of 298 to 300, 315, 317, Annual 25, and Webs of Spider-Man number 1, and Fantastic Four 274. Or at least parts of them, from what I remember. This was one of the very, very first comics I ever read, or comic collections I should say, so I got it, and this is how I have the first few issues of the Symbiote Saga right here. First appearance of the Puma and the Rose, and the return of Jack-O-Lantern, the first appearance, well, some of Venom obviously, but someday I'll do a look at this. All these books even closer. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 15. This has issues 259 to 272, Annual 18 and 19, and Web of Spider-Man number 1 and 6. The Hobgoblin is back. I am so happy I have this. That's a thing. So I now can read issues 1 to 272 straight through. I don't know if there's a volume, well, I know there's not a volume 16, but I will get that, and then there's volume 17, which is Kraven's Last Hunt, and then I'll also talk about I'll talk about more when I go through the omnibuses. This very little trade paperback is called Spider-Man vs. Silver Sable. It has the first appearance of the Sinister Syndicate. Yeah, it says issues 265, Silver Sable's first appearance, 279 to 281, and Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man 128 to 129. Very small, but very good read, very worthwhile. This is sort of, you can be seen as an epic collection for the Spectacular Spider-Man series, Spider-Man Tombstone. They called this Volume 1, but there's no Volume 2 for a very long time. So, this has issues 137 to 150, and parts of Annual number 8. So, very, very cool. This has this really cool piece of artwork right there. This has the crossovers with the X-Men's Inferno event, so there we go. This has everything with that Forgotten Rogue called a Persuader also. Another Epic Collection, Amazing Spider-Man Round Robin Epic Collection number 22. Spidey gets by with a little help from his friends. This is issues 351 to 360, Annual 25, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 11, and Web of Spider-Man Annual 7, and Spider-Man Fear Itself. So, a lot of this is the giant crossover, but, you know, the other issues, and actually most of it is crossovers. I don't really care that much for crossovers, but it's worth it. It is very rare. Another one that I would say is rare. This, another very unique trade paperback, Spider-Man Invasion of the Spider Slayers. This has issues, well, it doesn't say. Was this custom made? No, it was not. It was very old. And it tells you stuff from his first, Alistair Smythe's first appearance, Spider Slayer's history. I think it's issues, obviously, Alistair Smythe, the Ultimate Spider Slayer. This has issues 372 to 375, I think, or 6. I made a list of top 5 best Spider Slayer stories, so, and this was number 1. Want more details, go to my channel, The Real Super Sam, for that. Spider-Man Vengeance of Venom. So, I should talk about these two in Spider-Man Maximum Carnage together, because basically one after another. There's this omnibus called Spider-Man vs. Venom, and it's basically these two combined. So Spider-Man Vengeance of Venom is Venom's third appearance to his last appearance right before Maximum Carnage. So this has issues 332, 333, 346, 347, 361 to 363, which is Carnage's first appearance. And my favorite Spider-Man story ever in issues 374 and 375. Spider-Man The Trial of Venom, parts of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 373 and 388 in annuals 25 to 26, Peter Parker The Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 12, and Web of Spider-Man Annual 8. Venom's back and he's not alone. So this has a lot of awesomeness for Venom. I highly recommend this. If you don't want to get an omnibus, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but I got these countless years ago, so that's why. Spider Maximum Carnage, this Maximum Carnage, and a new cover, paper format. I know there's an Epic collection that's the same thing. This, I remember my library had it, and then I just bought it myself. This was the worst book that's ever come to me in the mail. I don't know what happened, but it is really not, it's not as good as it looks. There's much better looks for it. I love the cover. I think the cover is the best. This one is very new, or this form of the story in collected format. Atlantis Attacks. So this does have all 500 pages that the omnibus had, just in, paperback format, and it is really, really good. I love the art. I really love the art. I don't know this art. I forgot who the artist's name is, but one of my favorites. Very special book. Very glad that I have it. And it's just stacking up. Wow. Another special trade paperback. How many times have I said that? Spider-Man, The Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. This has my favorite Spider-Man miniseries, or one of my favorites, Deadly Foes of Spider-Man 1 through 4, Lethal Foes of Spider-Man 1 through 4. This has Sinister Syndicate stuff, and then it turns into an all-out war. I plan to do a top 5 Sinister Syndicate stories for my birthday this year in July, so the Real Super Sam channel, stay tuned for that, blah blah blah, you get it. And then, instead of having the 2 original Clone Saga omnibuses, I have the 5 trade paperback books. And if, Volume 2 wasn't so rare for the omnibus format, I would have just gotten both of them, because I have the Scarlet Spider ones in omnibus format. It begins here. Here's Volume 1. I'm just going to read what it starts off with. Amazing Spider-Man 394, Spectacular Spider-Man 217, Spider-Man 1990 issues 51 to 53, Spider-Man Limited number 7, Web of Spider-Man 117 and 119. You get it. So there's Volume 1. Not that special. This is probably my favorite volume, though, out of them. Volume 2. The Jackal Returning, Spider-Man and Daredevil versus Vulture and the Owl, Spider-Man versus Puma. Volume 3, this was the first one I read out of these 5, so I started right in the middle when I was a kid. The 5-part Trial series is in there, stuff with Kane. Volume 4, again with Kane. And then this is the smallest one, Volume 5. I think I got all of these new. This one has New Warrior 62 to 64, Web of Spider-Man 128 to 129, Amazing Spider-Man 405 to 406, Spider-Man 62 to 63, Spider-Man Unlimited number 10, Spectacular Spider-Man 228 to 229, Spider-Man Team Up 1, and it has Lady Ock right here. And well, there we go. There's that. Spider-Man Hobgoblin Lives. Now this has the top 2 Hobgoblin stories, I think. It has Hobgoblin Lives number 1 through 3 and Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 259 to 261. So 6 issues under here. The last big appearances of the original Hobgoblin. Spider-Man, The Gathering of 5. This is the Spider-Man issues that happened right before the Amazing Spider-Man series kind of gets rebooted into Spider-Man in the next chapter. So it's all in here. It has issues of Amazing Spider-Man 440 to 441, Spider-Man 96 to 98, Sensational Spider-Man 32 to 33, and Spectacular Spider-Man 262 to 263. Of course, Green Goblin is the villain of that. And here it is, Spider-Man, the next chapter, Volume 1. We have a new Scorpion, we have Fantastic Four, we have Sandman being a villain again. It has Amazing Spider-Man 1999, issues 1 through 6, and Annual 99. Peter Parker's Spider-Man 1 through 6. Spider-Man More. That's kind of a funny title, or tagline. Here was an awesome one. It has my favorite Sinister Six story in it. Volume 2 of Spider-Man the Next Chapter. This has Amazing Spider-Man 7 through 12, Peter Parker's Spider-Man 7 through 12. And yeah, this is where Venom joins the Sinister Six. The next chapter, Volume 3, has Carnage on the cover and Venom in the back. This has issues 13 through 19 of both series, and Spider-Woman 1999 issue 9. In the Carnage story, Cleus Cassidy, it's in this volume, Venom eats the Carnage symbiote, and in this, Cleus Cassidy goes crazy and paints himself red, and Spider-Man knocks him out in one punch. Now for some happier, more cosmic things, Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath. Now, you might see the omnibuses and think, I should just buy the Thanos Origins Omnibus, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, and Annihilation, Conquest, etc. But these have the stories that happen in between Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War Omnibus. It has Silver Surfer 60 through 66, Doctor Strange 36, Warlock in the Infinity Gauntlet in the Infinity Watch issues 1 through 6. Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus does not have Infinity Watch 1 through 6 or anything, and then Infinity War Omnibus has issues 7 through 12, I think. So you want what happens right before. Buy the Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath. I remember my grandpa bought me this for my birthday. Very awesome. I never knew how awesome this book would have been. I also had the Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus before that time. Also, when I do a reading order of the cosmic stuff, this will be included, definitely. And then I have a kind of throwaway book because I have the Omnibus. But Infinity War. This has the Infinity Watch, 7 through 10. Marvel Comics presents 108 to 111, and Infinity War 1 through 6. Will the universe be saved, destroyed, or both? So, there's Archangel right there, Quicksilver I see, Daredevil, I know Mole Man is shown in this story also. And you might have guessed it, same thing with the stuff that happens in between Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War. This happens in between Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet, so if you want everything, you must buy Infinity War Aftermath. This has an Infinity Watch 11 through 17, Silver Surfer Warlock Resurrection 1 through 4, Quasar 41 to 43, and like 3 other stories. And then, not an Infinity Crusade Aftermath, but the Infinity Watch Volume 2. This has Infinity Watch issues 26 to 42. I think the Infinity Crusade Omnibus stops at issue 22 or 23, so you don't get some in between here, but what's, just 2 issues missing, or 3. Okay, whoops, I didn't mean to put these kinda not in order, but and I put the Omnibus. I don't have the Omnibus, but I have Road to Onslaught. The stories. Here's Volume 1. It has Uncanny X-Men 322 to 326, X-Men 1991 42 to 45, Unlimited issue 8. So it has Road to Onslaught Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And then there's the Onslaught Omnibus, which that story leads into the Thunderbolts, but I don't have any trade paperbacks for the Thunderbolts. But after the Omnibus is the Onslaught Aftermath right here. Again, someday I'll do a really cool reading order. Hopefully it's cool. Alright. The Joker, Batman's #1 foe, me. This has his 9-issue miniseries, and then there's a quote-unquote unreleased issue 10. There's an Omnibus for Joker, but I still have this. I don't have the Joker Omnibus either, so there's a reason I have that, right? Justice League, New 52, Volume 1. the only Justice League New 52 volume I have, but I have the omnibus for the Darkseid Anti-Monitor War, so that's basically volume 7 and 8 in there, and then I want to get issues 5 and 6 because of Forever Evil. Don't know why I don't have those ones yet, but still, there's when they first team up and fight Darkseid. Batman, yep, get ready for a lot of Batman. Batman Detective Comics Volume 1, Faces of Death. This has issues 1 through 7. Don't know how fast I'm going to go through these. Volume 2, Scare Tactics. Issues... oh crud, it doesn't say. Oh well. Look at that cool art. Volume 3, this is where Clayface marries Poison Ivy, Emperor Penguin. Issues 13 through 18. Batman, The Dark Knight, Volume 1, Night Terrors, where Batman fights Two-Face and Poison Ivy and Scarecrow, but yeah. Issues 1 through 9. Batman, The Dark Knight. Volume 2, Cycle of Violence, one of Scarecrow's greatest stories. This has issues... well, this has issue 0 in it, and issues 10 through 15. Mad. Batman fights Mad Hatter in 2013. The story which gave Mad Hatter an official origin. His issues 16 through 21. Clay. A Clayface full story. This was the first volume of a New 52 Batman title that I read before the Court of Owls, yeah. It has issues 22 through 29. Nightwing New 52. I have all 5 volumes, so all 30 issues. Right? There's Volume 1, Traps and Trapezes, Volume 2, Night of the Owls, Death of the Family, Second City, and Setting Sun. Oh, it doesn't tell me how many issues there are. Oh well, I think there's 30. This is basically the omnibus called The Prince of Gotham, right here. And then, let me put that on the other side. Forever Evil, the miniseries right here, which ties into the New 52 Villains Month omnibus. It's a 7-issue miniseries where the greatest villains of our universe fight the Injustice League, led by Ultraman. Or Crime Syndicate, I mean, whatever. Forever Evil, Arkham War, kind of could be seen as a crossover 6-issue series, miniseries. Same thing with this, Forever Evil, Rogues Rebellion. 6-issue miniseries with the Rogues, and Heatwave apparently dies, and Captain Cold does not have metahuman powers again, and something happens to the Mirror Master, something good happens to the Golden Glider, and then Talon Volume 1. There's going to be a Volume 1 and Volume 2 under one cover coming out later this year. I think it's in August, or sorry, April actually. But this is Volume 1, The Scourge of the Owls. This has the first 7 issues, I think. It's written by Scott Snyder, so that's why I decided to get it. And give me 1 second, because I also have Forever Evil. I just got this a few days ago. Forever Evil Argus. You can think of it as Forever Evil Suicide Squad. Again, a 7-issue or 6-issue miniseries tying in with Forever Evil, and it is very cool. Alright, I'm going to be going fast through these next ones, but Batman Eternal, Volume 1. There's 3 volumes of this, and it's all 1 through 52 issues of this series that had one comic released every week of this new title called Batman Eternal. I'm very happy I have the whole series. There was an omnibus of it, but I heard it wasn't that good. There's Volume 2, it's the smallest one. And here's Volume 3, another big one. Specifically issues, oh well, it doesn't say, but yeah, there's some great Killer Croc moments in here also. Professor Pig's in here sometimes, you get it. A really good Batman story. The Flash. Ever since the New 52 started, I collected the Flash trade paperbacks, so here is Volume 1. Move Forward. I love this series, and I got this before there was an omnibus, so I have all the trade paperbacks, but it's how I first read them, so I like it a bit more in trade paperback form. Volume 2, Rogues Revolution. Volume 3, Guerrilla Warfare. These two are basically back-to-back. I mean, obviously they're back-to-back, but the whole story is. Volume 4, Reverse. history lessons. Out of time with Zoom. I really love how they draw Zoom. Or not Zoom. Gosh, is that supposed to be Savitar? No, here's volume 7. I had to get this in hardcover, but Savage World is what that one is called. Oh gosh, I put them correctly the first time. Okay. Zoom, I love this look for Zoom. And then the last volume in the New 52. Volume 9, Full Stop. This has issues 48 to 52. Fitting, New 52, 52 Flash issues. Okay. I didn't only have Volume 1 of DC Rebirth Flash. Lightning Strikes Twice. Someday I'll have other ones. And now back to Spider-Man. Everyone's favorite hero on this channel, probably. Brand New Day. Epic Collection Volume 1. There's 4 of these. I only have the first 2. But this has the start of Mr. Negative's first appearance, Jackpot, Menace, The Rose, Overdrive. You get it. As issues 546 to 564 in here. This is volume 2 with the, oh gosh, I forget what that series is called. But Anti-Venom's first appearance during when Norman Osborn had control of the Dark Avengers. Here's some, oh, it has a Secret Invasion crossover. That's the greatest Hammerhead story of all time. Oh, New Ways to Die, that's what it's called. It has that series in here. The election storyline, so where the Menace gets revealed as Lily Hollister, spoiler alert. And then we jump to Amazing Spider-Man, The Gauntlet. Electro and Sandman. And this is when Dr. Octopus has a bunch of villains fight Spider-Man, and all the villains basically get either more power or literally or figuratively. So there's Volume 1 with Electro and Sandman. This is Volume 2 with Rhino and Mysterio and Mr. Negative. This is the one with the Vulture and Morbius, and Rhino has a part in the last issue, 625 in this volume. This was the first Amazing Spider-Man Gauntlet I read. Volume 4 to Juggernaut, where Captain Universe comes back and possesses a guy Juggernaut accidentally destroyed that guy's life. So Spider-Man has to actually rescue the Juggernaut. I think this came around the same time as the game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Oh no, it didn't. This came out... No, I think I was right. This came out in 2009, but still. The Lizard, legendary where the Lizard completely goes full monster and even eats his own son Billy. Whew. And after all that, it all led up to Grim Hunt, the return of Kraven the Hunter after at least one full decade. And there's that really great Kraven story. Then I jumped to a little bit to this series called Origin of the Species, where Dr. Octopus wants Lily Hollister and Harry Osborn's baby, so he sends out a bunch of supervillains to get him. Some other stuff happens here, but it has this iconic artwork for all the covers, and you probably know what comes next. Big time. This is the Epic Collection. And it has all the way from Spider-Man fighting the 4th Hobgoblin, or third Hobgoblin, right? At least in this continuity, I don't know for sure. Issue 648 to 662, and really, really good. This is when he's part of the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. And a lot of people don't like Dan Slott's writing, which I maybe should have talked about when I was looking at the Brand New Day Epic Collections, but I actually like his writing. Personality in the real world, I don't want to go into that. So, the return of Anti-Venom. This has Wraith, aka Yuri Lowenthal. Wait. Oh my gosh, isn't that the actor who voices Spider-Man, not the character? Yuri Watanabe, there we go, I'm such a fool right now. I mean, this series is really good. I mean, it's super short, but this is what you have to buy to get to Spider Island. Another little, well, it's a little bit smaller than the other ones in this part, but here is the Spider Island storyline where everyone gets spider powers and he fights the Queen, and the Queen is kind of a forgotten Spider-Man villain, but she returned in here and it was a big deal. Obviously the Jackal plays a big role again, he returns. Flying Blind. This comes right after Spider Island. The Vulture is back, and he's a lot darker than before. He kind of becomes kind of like the Penguin from Batman in that story. And then Trouble on the Horizon. Okay. And this has issues 678 to 681. And then next, just give me a second. Or 3 seconds, because Spider-Man Ends of the Earth. One of the greatest Sinister Six stories ever. Dr. Octopus holds the Earth ransom, but craziness happens. Mysterio betrays his team. Chameleon pretends to be Doc Ock. 2 big characters die, a hero and a villain. And I really like this. I remember where I was reading it the first time. Lizard, No Turning Back, with Morbius and the Lizard. Crazy stuff happens. Kind of like a sequel to the Gauntlet Volume 5 Lizard part. And all of these are in order. I don't think there's any comics skipped since I started the Big Time Epic collection. Next is Danger Zone. Very cool cover. Of course, there's Hobgoblin returning and Kingpin. Hobgoblin versus Hobgoblin. Oh yeah. And the last one in the Amazing Spider-Man, up to issue 700, where, if you know this story, well, spoiler, he dies. And of course, with him, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he switched bodies with Dr. Octopus. And now Dr. Octopus in Peter Parker's body is calling himself the Superior Spider-Man. This was a 31-issue series, and at first I kind of, in my mind, boycotted against, like, no, I'm never going to read it, I'm never going to even look at it. I'm never going to even try and say good things about it because Peter Parker's Spider-Man died. But I read Volume 1 and I really loved it, so I'm one of those people who's, could be seen as bad for liking it, but of course I have every other series. I think there should be an omnibus of it too, even though I'm not really the person to trade in trade paperbacks for an omnibus format of the same thing. Necessary Evil. This is one of my favorite ones. No Escape. I love that cover. Superior Venom. I forgot what happens in here. I think 2099. Or maybe not. There's a Green Goblin versus Hobgoblin again. How many times has that happened? And the finale, Superior Spider-Man Volume 6, Goblin Nation, with the return of Peter Parker and the apparent sacrifice of Dr. Octopus. And in between those, I don't know where this goes, but Superior Spider-Man Team Up Volume 2, Superior 6, where he uses the Sinister Six to fight alongside him. Of course, this is an homage to Annual 1. This omnibus, Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I'm very happy I have this omnibus. I actually like it a lot. I know some people don't care about that story, but I do. This one I got as a gift of Venom by Donny Cates, Volume 1, called Rex. I think he fights Stegron in this. Oh, look at that. Let me see. Oh, no, he doesn't. This is about Null, the symbiote god. There's going to be an omnibus of Donny Cates Venom. I might get that. So it's only one trade paperback. I'm good with getting the omnibus of it because I'm barely repeating any issues compared to the whole omnibus. But if it was something like I had all the trade paperbacks for, I think there's 3 for Superior Foes, I wouldn't get the omnibus. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Civil War. This is where he fights a new team called the Exterminators, led by the Chameleon. And of course, there's a story with Rhino beating up Spider-Man really bad. This happens after Civil War, during Civil War, obviously, but where his identity is revealed. Venom, Carnage, the 4-issue miniseries with the art looking unbelievable, seriously. And I think this is in Venom Omnibus Volume 2 or 3. I know it's in the Carnage Omnibus, but I only have that. I don't have the Carnage Omnibus. Marvel Knights Spider-Man by Mark Millar. The 12-issue series. I actually like this story. It's very, Marvel Knights, darker Spider-Man. Or darker stories for Spider-Man. And then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Peter David, a complete collection. This has Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issues 5 through 23 in Annual 1. This has one of my favorite Mysterio stories in it. This has one of my favorite, actually no, my number 1 Sandman stories in this collection, so see. There's a really good Vulture tale in here that I kind of regret not putting on the top 5 stories. Some futuristic stuff with Chameleon 2099. And issues 1 through 4 and an omnibus I have that I'll talk about specifically someday. Alright. Hopefully you guys are still here, because I had to set this up. I have every Batman Arkham collection except Hugo Strange. Someday I'll get Hugo Strange. There was supposed to be a Catwoman one also, but that actually got cancelled, I think, or pushed back a very long time. But these are all the ones I have, all except Hugo Strange. Some of the ones I like the most are Victor Zsasz, or not like the most, but are the most rare: Victor Zsasz, Poison Ivy, Riddler, and the Scarecrow. And Black Mask, I guess, but oh no, Black Mask isn't rare. Anyway, should I look at all these separately? I'll just show you the cover. So, here's one for Joker's daughter. I was surprised to find out she wasn't a character created exactly just for the New 52. She was in other stories way beforehand. Talia al Ghul. This is a really big one, a really nice book too. Rachel Gold, this is what it looks like. I can almost never get a... I never saw the cover for this before I bought it, so there you guys go. Black Mask. I like the tagline, the most sadistic and ruthless crime boss in Gotham. Scarecrow, my favorite supervillain ever. Of course I would have this. Fear's Master, so thank you for this being made. The Penguin. The Gentleman of Crime. Man-Bat. Terror in the Sky. This one's actually a little bit bigger than you would think. Killer Croc. I just read this one. Really good. It has all the essential Killer Croc stuff, but I think it could have had 1 or 2 different stories swapped out. The Riddler. World with Evil. Terror, and just a coin flip away. Again, really good. They had a 4-issue storyline in here that I think they could have traded in for some other one-shots, but whatever. Poison Ivy, Clayface, Mr. Freeze. This was the first Batman Arkham collection I got. And Victor Zsasz, maybe one of the most go under the knife, rare ones to get. Well, this is next my very first comic collection I ever got. Amazing Spider-Man Brand New Day Volume 3. The mini cover of it, I guess it's a hardcover, but you guys get it. Very first one I ever got was started me on my giant comic collection journey. Issues 559 to 563. Screwball's first appearance. Paper Dolls, one of her only appearances, and then this really great story with the Enforcers, and the Squid makes a cameo in here, and etc. Really good. I like the gold that they have for the hardcover emblem as well. I haven't looked at this yet. It's in a free series that was online. They made it physical. I got this for free. So, I don't really care that much about Iron Man. And now, to end it all, some more DC stuff, specifically DC New 52. This is All-Star Batman, New 52 Volume 1, or sorry, DC Rebirth. Did I say New 52? No, DC Rebirth, My Own Worst Enemy, really great Two-Face story. That's hardcover as well, but I'm still counting in Trey Purak. This is Volume 2, Ends of the Earth. This is not a Batman story, this is a villain story. Oh yeah, these two has issues 1. This one has issues 1 through 5. This one has issues 6 through 9. The Titans, DC Rebirth, Volume 1, The Return of Wally West. This has issues 1 through 6 in there. The Nightwings, volumes from DC Rebirth. Volume 1, Better Than Batman. There's issue 1 through 4 and 7 and 8. Volume 2, Back to Bloodhaven. This has issues 9 through 15. Volume 3, Nightwing Must Die. Volume 4, Blockbuster. Volume 5, Raptor's Return, Raptor's Revenge. He was in Volume 1. Volume 6 is where it gets, these volumes get a little bit bigger, but this one has issues 35 to 43. The Untouchable. Volume 7, The Bleeding Edge. The last one in numerical order, which has up to issue 49 in Annual 1. And then this one called Nightwing, Night Terrors. Nightwing, as you've never seen before, this has issues 50 through 56, so you can think of it as a Volume 8. And that's all I have right now. Batgirl DC Rebirth, Volume 1, Beyond Burnside, issues 1 through 6. Volume 2, Son of Penguin. Volume 3, Summer of Lies. And the last one, if trying to trade paperbacks that I'm going in order of, Volume 4, Strange Loop. This has issues 18 to 25. So, hope you enjoyed this very big video where I went through all of my trade paperbacks. This had Marvel and DC stuff in it, so there's that one where it's all Marvel Essentials, but no, this is, you know, all the trade paperbacks. Of course, I'm going to make a video in a long time from now, well, probably in the middle of summer, where I go through all the omnibuses I have, and probably will have for a long time. And, yeah, there's not much else to, talk about, in my mind. So, with that said, there's the Infinity War omnibus I was talking about. Hope you guys enjoyed this ginormous video on this channel, probably the longest one I have made when it comes to, you know, live action. When I got Batman Road to No Man's Land, I'm still gonna buy No Man's Land Volume 1, so and then there's the Who Volume 2 that comes out in May. Anyway, and I don't have the Batgirl by Burnside omnibus, but if I did, which I plan on getting someday in the long future, it will be every New 52 Batgirl comic then. Because here's the 2 Batman New 52 collections. Okay, with that said, thank you for watching, and have a great day.